Building a Community-Centered Business with Armand and Michelle Amoranto. Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. An essential podcast for those who live, work, visit, and play in Carlsbad.
Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Bret Schanzenbach. I'm the president and CEO of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce, and I'm your host today. I'm very pleased to have with me both Michele and Armand Amoranto. Did I say that right? Amoranto? Amoranto of Bio-One from Oceanside. Afternoon, you guys. How you doing?
Great.
We're great. Thanks for having us on.
Yes. Absolutely. Good to have you guys here. So we're going to get into what Bio-One's all about because it's very interesting. But both of you, I believe, are former educators, school teachers, things like that, and who have made a career transition into this very unique business. And so tell us a little bit about what made you jump from, being educators into being entrepreneurs.
I guess she's pointing at me to
I saw that. Our audience can't see that, but she was definitely pointing at you. Yes.
Well, in all honesty, I'm still an educator.
Yeah.
So I still work for Oceanside Unified School District. I'm actually a teacher on special assignment. Next year, I'll be in charge of middle school and high school math, as well as science next year.
Got it.
So I just got word that they added science to my role for next year as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, the journey to being an entrepreneur, it started probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly had a vision a long time ago about doing something. I thought about pizzas but we made the jump to doing cupcakes first. And we worked with Don Hine, of course, over Little Cake's Kitchen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked together to partner and bring Little Cake's Kitchen to Gelson's Market.
Here in Carlsbad.
Here in Carlsbad, also in Del Mar.
Yeah.
And of course, I learned quickly that food margins are tough.
Yeah.
This just wasn't, I wasn't ready for it, I guess, is probably what it was. And so we kind of split ways and moved forward with looking for something different. And when it came down to it, we wanted a franchise. So we kind of had some guidance with it, with starting the business. Secondly was looking into something that was helpful for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking for a third thing too, which was better margins from a business standpoint.
Gotcha.
And so when we did some research, we found Bio-One and did a discovery day, and here we are.
Very cool. And we're going to get into what Bio-One is in just a moment for everybody. But I also have to give a quick shout out. So you have 4 kiddos, with the oldest is just graduated high school and going off to college, right? So how was his last school year with the last couple of years doing the whole COVID thing? And looks like you got a creative graduation parties you were doing maybe.
Well, Nicholas is, graduated, and our first one. And COVID was definitely a hard time for all of our children.
Yeah.
They're used to being out and about and with people and involved in sports and music and all the other social activities that kids love to be involved in. And it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough for sure. But they adapted pretty well, and we just encourage them to make the most of what this experience is and what they can get out of it. So.
Yeah. I'm not saying like I was trolling through your Facebook page or anything, but it looks like you had some creative celebrations for his graduation there.
Yeah, we certainly for his graduation we did invite a bunch of friends, and they all came, and my family, her family, and just we luckily a lot of them were already vaccinated, so
nice.
So that was not an issue. And we just enjoyed being together again, and that was the big big part, and having a reason to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So Bio-One is a very unique business, and I was looking at your Facebook page, your website, and I think the easiest way to describe was the terms that you use on there called extreme cleaning. I think that's a very apt description of what you guys do, because for our audience, and I'm going to let you guys tell it here in a moment, but you guys clean up things like blood, homicides, suicides, hoarding houses, unattended deaths, and quite a few other unique things that most of us don't really think about who does clean that stuff up. So why don't you share with us a little bit about Bio-One and your perspective on it and what drew you to it? And they're looking at each other trying to decide who's going first. So I'm going to just start picking on you like a teacher does. So Michelle, you start.
Yeah, I guess extreme cleaning is an appropriate term for what we do, but we don't think of it as anything that's beneath us, or we just feel like whenever we get a call from, whether it's from a law enforcement agency, property manager, a homeowner in distress, family in distress, we're there to come out and take care of whatever the situation is in a timely manner. We answer our phones 24/7, 365 days a year, and are just there to help with whatever their needs are.
Yeah. Armand, you said you guys were evaluating different kinds of franchises, and you threw out a few criteria that you were looking for. So what ended up in the end drawing you to Bio-One?
Well, the biggest thing that was the impact that we could do in terms of being helpful to people. I mean, their motto is help first, business second. And when you see the things that we deal with, obviously there's a lot of stress. I mean, we get hugs, from our clients because of the transformations that we're able to do and the support we give them. There's a lot of tears. Just today, my team is up in Costa Mesa helping a lady out who just needed our help. And so we go in there, we don't judge. We come in with love and compassion, and we just want to be there to help people out. And fortunately, we've as our business has aged and the SEO and all that stuff is starting to work, and we're starting to get more phone calls, and so we're just happy that we can actually just respond and take care of people. So
yeah, it was interesting when I was reading through your website, and of course you and I have talked over the last several months after you started Bio-One. But I was reading through your website, and one of the things that struck me was this concept of an unattended death. And just recently had a family member whose mom passed away on her own, completely unattended. And and I was asking him, I'm like, oh, so was she alone when she died? And he said, yeah. And I'm like, so did she die peacefully? And he said, no. And he wasn't comfortable elaborating. I mean, she was 85. She had a great life. And, it was, we had the celebration of life just recently, and it was a lot of positive, 6 kids and like 16 grandkids and a bunch of great grandkids. Wow. So, that's awesome. A lot of positive, but there was this whole aspect of, that she did die alone, and it wasn't just like, peaceful dying in your sleep type of thing. And I never thought about like a resource to call to come and assist, like when a family, because that's traumatic if a family walks in and because they actually they knock on a door and there was no answer, knock on a door, no answer to the phone, and they had to go in and find their mom, unfortunately deceased. That's traumatic. So you guys deal with that kind of stuff on a somewhat regular basis?
We do. I mean, we do get some calls. I mean, there was a gentleman actually here in Carlsbad that we helped out, and fortunately, I mean, there was a very attentive neighbor who noticed that the newspaper wasn't picked up that morning. And they knocked on the door and no one responded. They knew the son's phone number, so they called him up. They found him. He hit his head. He was dizzy. Luckily, he was still found alive. And thankfully, all we had to do was just do the cleanup portion, and there was a good story still behind it. But definitely, we find a lot of elderly who are living alone, whether it's an undiscovered death situation, or sometimes it's just overwhelmed by, maybe they can't bend over and clean anymore. Maybe it's because their animals are just just all over, just not under control anymore, and they can't take them outside anymore, and they're just have all these issues inside the home and biohazards. And so, we come in there and we just ask them, okay, what do you guys need us to do to take care of you?
Yeah.
We have a standard of cleanliness and decontamination that we want to do in the home. And
Yeah.
a lot of times we just tell them, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to take care of you. And then, we just take care of them.
Yeah. One of the things you and I talked about before, as you know, I'm a former realtor. Refer to myself as a realtor in recovery at this point. But, I did that industry for 8 years, or maybe it took care of me. I'm not sure which. I think it tried me out more than I tried it out. But, sometimes there's situations where somebody elderly passes and the house needs to be sold, and the situation can be quite chaotic at that house. And so that's also something that you guys might get brought in on to help with.
Yeah, we had certain situations like that. I think you dealt with one up in San Clemente, right?
Oh, yes. The situation was the father had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so the daughter lived up in Sacramento. And so we help people all across the country, actually, not just here in North County, but, we get calls from folks who live on the East Coast and have family here. So it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of email communication. Good communication is very important in our business.
Yeah, for sure.
So we just helped the daughter. We just went in and did an estimate and assessed the situation, because there was no way she was going to be able to physically make it down here to San Clemente. So we always take pictures of every situation we come across. And so we're always very transparent and what the before and after is. So we think that's important. The whole transformation of the scene or the home is important for people to see. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And the focus on that one was really about, there was some rodent issues.
Oh, wow.
Over a long period of time. And we just had to make sure it was safe for anyone to walk through to purchase the home. That was the biggest thing we had to focus on.
Yeah, because she was trying to get it ready to
sale.
Yeah.
So she needed it done quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of other
things to take care
of besides the cleaning. So
well, quickly and thoroughly, I'm sure,
and
right?
Thoroughly, absolutely.
So she could show that house and hopefully attract a good purchase price for that next.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were people already looking
Yes.
while we were cleaning.
Oh,
Can we come in and take a look? We're like, no, it's not safe for you to be in here.
And you don't have permission either.
In your jeans and flip-flops.
Right. You guys are like in quasi hazmat suits, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Always for safety. Yes.
And then of course there's the hoarding situation, which I mean, I know that could be somebody who's passed on and it was a hoarder, but it could also be somebody who's still living and it's gotten out of their control. I'm sure you've dealt with a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, we just actually finished one this past week where just this lady just needed our help. Just things got overwhelming for her. And we actually were able to clear out the entire house because it also had rodent issues too. Everything was just impacted. And we were able to clear it out in like a day, and then just spent 2.5 days cleaning because that's how much cleaning it needed, and just decontaminate, disinfect, and it's just again, there was definitely a lot of tears and a lot of hugs from her.
Sure.
Well, it was a big step for her to actually call us.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just the joy of just seeing things get taken care of.
It's got to be like a weight off their back.
That's exactly what she talked about.
Yeah, because her husband had a stroke. And then she had a son with special needs. So she was really on her own.
Right. Taking care
trying
of
to take care of the home.
Working
full time as a teacher and take care of the family. And
just got away from her.
She just shared that, she had suffered some depression and finally decided that I guess enough was enough, or she wanted to change. So
yeah.
That's the first step. So
that's a lot of different scenarios that people might not know where there are resources to call, and so having you guys here is a great resource. So you mentioned one of the things that attracted you or that you like about the business is the serve first mentality.
Yes.
And I've noticed since we met about a year ago that you guys are very community engaged. And you can see that too, like on your Facebook page, you guys do different events. So tell us about that mentality, like that service mentality that you have, and then tell us about some of the things that you've been involved in recently.
Okay. Well, thank you for the compliment.
Yeah.
We appreciate you noticing our commitment to helping the community, and
Yeah.
helping law enforcement is near and dear to our hearts because they serve the community.
Yeah.
And so we feel privileged to assist them in just a small portion of, what they do to help the
Sure.
community. So that is a huge motivating factor for us to help them. So we've been able to do a blood drive with the Oceanside Police Department
Nice.
back in June. And I'm a blood donor and cancer survivor. And so
nice.
it's kind of a natural thing for, both of us actually, but you can save a lot of lives with donating blood. So
yeah,
and
that's
it
awesome.
was a fun community event, and it was held at the police department, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
So.
And then the police and fire games that recently happened here in San Diego County, it was actually a national one.
Oh.
So we had athletes coming from New York, Texas, Alabama, everywhere.
Yeah.
And, one of the things, of course, that they didn't get to do last year was have the police and fire games because of the pandemic.
Sure.
And so one of the first events that we kind of got to be present at was the surfing competition.
Uh-huh.
And just to see the brotherhood and sisterhood between all the surfers just being so happy together. And they, because we had a booth and Bio-One was a presenting sponsor for the event, they were just so grateful and just saying thank you to us. And we're like, there's 120 of us across the nation. This is all of us working together to really become this presenting sponsor.
Nice.
And so, we were just happy to be present. A lot. I kept thinking about just making sure that we represented all of Bio-One well, because I knew not all the Bio-Ones across the country could be there, because all of us contributed to that. So
yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you have something coming up, I believe, that you're doing with Solutions for Change. Is that right?
We are. At the end of the month, end of August, we are partnering with Solutions for Change to do a homeless encampment cleanup.
Yeah.
What's the name of the program
called
again?
Serve to Solve Project.
Oh, yeah, Serve to Solve Project.
So they go in with their team to a homeless encampment, just do interviews with them. But at the same time, they're asking us to help them along and work with their overcomers, the ones who've gone through their program and now overcome the homelessness, and just give back and just clean up a little bit in the encampment, take any trash out, so that because they're not going to change anything drastically overnight, but at least do a little bit of help to listen to their stories, see what kind of services that Solutions for Change can provide for them. And we're hoping to do it here in Oceanside somewhere.
Yeah, that's great. And full disclosure, I should probably share that I actually serve on the board of directors for Solutions for Change. So thank you for, for doing that.
How long have you been doing that?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I've been on the board for, I think this is my 6th year, I believe.
Okay.
And great organization. I mean, their whole mission, of course, is to solve family homelessness.
Yes.
And so these excursions that you're going to be a part of are very important to actually get out there and share resources. And a lot of times people don't know what's available to them.
True.
And so getting out there but having you guys serve them directly by cleaning up and which can, bring some dignity to them and help them is tremendous. So that's really great that you're embarking on that as part of your mission.
I was going to say, we're excited to partner with them to meet some of these overcomers. And then we had talked about potentially like maybe hiring
awesome.
some of them on a part-time basis.
Sure.
So we're excited to potentially do that. So we're always looking for good people.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's awesome.
Caring people, kind-hearted people.
Yeah, and the overcomers, they are phenomenal. I mean, they go through this extensive university there at Solutions for Change for all kinds of life training, job training, all that kind of stuff. And they get a chance to really grow and develop there. And so, yeah, that would be awesome if it turns out to be an opportunity to bring some of them onto your team in the short term and long term. That'd be great. How did that come together for you between Solutions for Change and yourself?
That's a great question. I don't remember if Christy reached out to us or we reached out to them.
Thought we initially were on a Zoom call during the pandemic, I believe with the Oceanside Chamber. They were on that Zoom call.
Oh, yeah, they were on the Zoom call, yeah. And I heard about what they were doing, and then I just reached out to them and said, is there anything that we could do to help out?
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, we can bring in the PPE, make sure everybody is properly safe and going into the homeless encampments to do any of the cleaning. And they were talking about the Serve to Solve project, which was new.
Yes.
And something that they wanted to launch. And we tried to launch it as early as March.
Yeah.
And but the city of Encinitas didn't respond quick enough, and that didn't work out. So we'll see what we can do. Hopefully by the end of August. We're talking. Is it Jennifer? Jennifer's working with us to try and push something forward for August, and August 28th, the Saturday, I think is our plan, and hopefully we can get something done.
Oh, that's great. And I know because we've chatted offline before that you guys are a family of musicians. So I got to ask, how's the music flowing right now? Come on, fess up.
Well, I sing in the shower now a lot. That's where I work on my vocals. I haven't been out to the Sunset Market in a long time. I used to play there with my son, Nicholas.
Oh, really?
When he was 10 years old, I said he needs to perform somewhere to actually practice.
Yeah.
And so, we would just do gigs out there and spend 4 hours, do our sets 4 times. And by the time, the evening came, we had it pretty down.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say we sing in church all the time.
We do sing in church. I do sing at church.
We're blessed to have him play for youth choir.
Yes.
And,
out at the mission,
out
right?
at the mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
At 5 p.m. Mass. So, and then Alyssa is going to be in marching band.
Nice.
Jessica does singing and vocalist.
Is she at Mission Vista High as well?
She's at Mission Vista, yeah. Okay. So both of them are at Mission Vista, Jessica and Alyssa. And then Vanessa, we'll see. She's going to start Vita this year. And we're going to try and encourage her to get into that drama program again, just like our other kids, and participate in that way. And we'll see where she goes.
She's a natural performer.
Yeah, she is.
Well, so from the Sunset Market to, I think, isn't Nicholas going to do music in college now as part of his major?
Yes, he is. He's going to be a double major with music and computer science.
Who would have thought, right? From Sunset Market to majoring in music in college. Right?
God works in wonderful ways.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And he's totally excited too, because he has to check in a day early so that he can start practice and do performances for the kids
when they're moving in the next day.
Oh, golly.
So he has a 2-hour window for us to move him in, and then he has rehearsal right after lunch.
Right.
That's great. Well, that's exciting. Music's such a beautiful thing. And it's one of those things. I know for us, one of the hardest things during the pandemic was not having like those choir performances, those recitals, the plays that our kids were in, like you just mentioned, all those things. Those are the things my wife and I miss the most. We made a lot of silver linings in our home during the pandemic, but those were the things that we missed the most. So
so we've been really excited that the Moonlight Theater has been opened up again, and so Nicholas works there.
So we get some free tickets, which is nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. No, the plays there are great.
Definite blessing. So we got to see Beauty and the Beast the other night.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you'd like to share about Bio-One or any of your upcoming activities? I don't want to miss anything. They're looking at each other.
I know. We're thinking. We have so many things going on.
We're just blessed. I mean, we get to help out the community in the ways we do. We've always been helpers in the community as an educator. That we dedicated our lives to education,
through our church.
And through church. We whether it's being a confirmation teacher, part of the parenting ministry or music ministries. But the business has allowed us to really branch out bigger outside of our little small bubbles that we had to to a bigger community now. So working with Solutions for Change, working with the police officers, and, working with the fire department, and there's just more
meeting members of the chamber.
Yes.
And
Well,
it's been amazing.
Yeah. You guys come into some challenging circumstances, as we already have detailed, and trauma and just all kinds of sometimes, there's mental illness or whatever the case might be. And we all need resources like that you provide. And we might not need it today. We might not know somebody who needs it tomorrow, but we're probably going to run into somebody who needs it sooner rather than later. So I just really appreciate you guys joining our chamber and getting to know you and the service that you provide and that you bring to this community. So I just wanted to thank you guys for that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for letting us share our story a little bit. And we're excited and can't wait for more things to come.
Yes.
Yeah. More and better.
More and better.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us today, guys.
Thank you, Bret.
Thank you, Bret.
Thanks for joining us on our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button on wherever you get your audio, and please tell a friend. We would love to hear your feedback, which you can share at carlsbadpodcast.com. You can leave us a review, ask a question, or leave an audio comment, which we can play on the show in the future. And that's all we have for today. Can't wait to see you next time on Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. And remember, share some kindness today. It's free, creates goodwill, and makes you feel great.